suis celle qui marche quand le bonheur en arrache, quand l'amour la chatouille, quand la vie la bafouille, toujours vivante. Je suis celle qui regarde en avant. Je suis celui qui lutte quand la vie le culbute. Je retombe sur mes bottes, les pieds dans la garnotte, toujours debout. Je suis celui qui va jusqu'au bout. Je suis celle qui frappe dans la vie à grands coups d'amour. Je suis celle qui passe quand les autres se tassent au bord de la routine. Je suis celle qui spinne et qui reste vivante. Je suis celui qui regarde en avant. Nous sommes ceux qui frappent dans la vie à grands coups d'amour. Nous sommes ceux qui frappent dans la vie à grands coups d'amour.
First word is baking. Baking means to cook food in an oven or cooking food in an oven. So here we can see that the little girl is baking cookies. Something to note about baking, it's when you cook in the oven and you don't add oil or anything like that. So usually when we're talking about baking, we're talking about baked goods, such as cookies, cakes, pastries, things like that. Hospital. A hospital is a place where sick and hurt people are cared for. A lot of times at hospitals, you'll see these little walkway things because the hospital has a couple different buildings. So it allows people to walk from one department to the other without having to go outside, where here we can see it's very cold. Or maybe it goes over a street, or maybe it goes to like a parking garage, something like that. Right now, the hospitals are all pretty full because of COVID-19. So, you know, there's a lot of people that we have to thank that are working in hospitals. Cancer. Cancer is a disease in which some cells divide uncontrollably. So the reason why cancer is so hard to fight is that it's actually your own cells that just for some reason keep remaking themselves. So cells are always supposed to remake themselves. That's why, like, if you get a cut on your hand, for example, I have this little cut right there. If my cells didn't remake themselves, then that cut would be open forever. But my skin cells are going to remake themselves and cover up this cut eventually with skin, leaving like that. I have like a scar. So this is some cells that have remade themselves. Now, the problem happens when the cells are supposed to be done remaking themselves. Sometimes they keep going. So as a result, you get what's called a tumor, which is like a bunch of cells that have just kept going and going and going and gotten actually big to the point where it starts pushing other things out of the way and damaging other things. So that's why cancer is bad, because some of your cells grow so much that your other like organs or whatever can't work correctly because there's all of these cells in the way. Now, if you remember when we were talking about chemotherapy, why it makes people's hair fall out, so why we know that this little boy has cancer, for example, because chemotherapy attacks cells that grow really quickly. That's how it can differentiate between like a normal cell and a cancer cell. But the problem is that our hair also grows really quickly. So the chemotherapy doesn't know the difference. So it makes our hair fall out because it thinks that basically the hair is cancer. Present. A present is a gift or something given. So if you got something from, your friends or family over the holidays, then that would have been a present. Normally people get presents for their birthdays. You could also just give a present to somebody because like they did something nice for you. So you want to give them something in return. Origami. Origami is the Japanese art of paper folding. So it's where you fold paper to look like something else. So in the video, we see that it starts off with like a little reindeer, and then the little boy makes a bunch of different other origami things. So they're just like folded little creatures, or it could be anything, but usually it's animals. Creative. Creative means using original and unusual ideas or imaginative. So as we see the story unfold, we see that the girl starts making more and more creative baked goods. So here she made this little cupcake that has eyes sticking out of it. So it's maybe like a little, I don't know, monster or something. And then she makes like donuts. So everything that she makes starts to get a little more creative. Collection. A collection is a group of things that are alike. So she starts to have a collection of these little origami guys. But a collection is basically anything that you have a group of that you are gathering. So for example, I have a collection of old books because I like to collect them. I like to keep them. It's something that I enjoy doing. So she has a collection of origami figures. Improved. Improved means made better. So as she continues to bake, her baking skills have improved. So at the beginning, she just made pretty simple cookies that looked like little reindeer, and now she has this whole log with mushrooms on it, and it looks like a real log. So her baking skills have improved because she's been making so much stuff for the little boy. Recovered. Recovered means to return to normal after a little bit of difficulty, or it could be a lot of difficulty. So the little boy has recovered from cancer. So he is now back to healthy. Hopefully he'll start going back to a normal life. If you know somebody who got sick from COVID-19, then you might hear that they are recovered, which means that they got over the disease and now they're doing better. Final. Final means the last, the end, something like that. So in this case, we could say that the final gift that the little boy, or the final present that the little boy gave her was an origami pair of them, right? So this is the little girl, this is the little boy. So his final gift to her was this little cute origami set.